Hello, everyone, and welcome to this conversation presented by White House Custom Color. Lara Blair.
Yes. Hello, Jed.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, hold up and
hanging in okay?
I'm holed up and hunkered down. That's what we've been telling. That's my standard answer. Or how's it going, or how are you guys doing? I say we're holed up and we're hunkered down, and we're just doing what we can, how we can, from the confines of our establishment. Isn't that what you're doing?
Yeah, Washington is in a complete lockdown. I don't know about you guys, but we are not supposed to leave our houses unless we go grocery shopping or to the pharmacy, pretty much. So all local businesses are shut down. I think some businesses are doing takeout still, but it's like our downtown is cute little downtown. I think it's probably like Morton, a lot of little shops and things. And that's where my business is, and everyone's shut down except for a few restaurants doing takeout. It's like a ghost town.
Where did you say you were again? Because that broke out.
Camas, Washington, which is right over the border from Portland, Oregon, about 25 minutes from the airport on the other side. And it's a really cute little town. I mean, it's grown, it's big now, but the downtown has stayed very quaint, and everyone's really tight, and businesses support each other. And it's just heartbreaking because everything's closed down.
Well, Washington got hit hard early on too.
Yeah. There was a retirement home up in Seattle where 29 of the residents died.
Right. So that was a big hit. That was a big hit right away.
Yeah. It was. And so we didn't really respond. I don't think Washington responded as quickly probably as they should have in terms of schools shutting and all of that. I mean, hindsight's 2020, but yeah.
Isn't it
everything,
though?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that? I mean, I understand that people are upset, and I understand that it's easy to point fingers, but I don't know. I find, and that's what happened was absolutely tragic, and there's tragic stories all over the place. But don't you think no one did anything maliciously, did they?
No one knew. We just didn't know.
That's what I mean. You can't. I just don't think that as a society, we should be that hard on ourselves, all things considered. We should weep and grieve and mourn our losses. There's no question.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty harsh to point fingers and say, well, if you would have just done this, because, apply that to the rest of your life and we're all a mess.
It's totally true. I mean, I think we've never done this before. This pandemic thing. We've never done this as a generation.
No.
I mean, and I don't think we knew that people who were asymptomatic were spreading it. We didn't know that.
Well, that was part of the problem.
A virus.
Yeah.
And we didn't know. I totally agree. Yeah, you're right. We can't have hindsight on this because we just didn't know. It's all new.
Well, we certainly can't.
Right?
I don't think it's fair to judge ourselves too harshly based on hindsight. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you.
What do your days look like right now?
Oh, I am a type A. You wouldn't know anything about that, right? Living with somebody. I am really.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know. I'm really. I have a hard time relaxing. I'm not a Netflix couch person, and a lot of times I wish I was, because I can't relax. I'm just working, and I'm pivoting and making this business look different, and I'm trying to serve my community. I'm doing pretty much every day. I've gotten up. I get up at 5, and I get going because the rest of my house is asleep. Well, my husband starts working pretty early, but he's in his office. My kids sleep late. My college kids are back, and they're sleeping late. So I just sit down and I get going, and I usually peter out by like 3, and I go to bed at 9. And we're watching movies at night. That's pretty much it as a family.
Yeah.
It's just that's our new normal. And we live kind of out in the sticks where there's no one.
Yeah.
We have one neighbor like an acre away, so we don't see anybody at all. I'm just grateful that my kids are home. That was the biggest thing.
You're all together. You're all together through this.
Here. Yeah. I need them back.
But aren't you doing so? I thought you were doing that thing, right? The program. Porch program?
The last time I talked to you, can you hear me okay? It looks like my internet connection's not fabulous.
It's not, but that's,
speaking of the sticks.
We got to push through.
Okay. The last time I talked to you on the podcast was about my business had just started to change and morph into like workshops for girls and
Mm-hmm.
really work with twins this age, the 10 to 13.
Tweens, yeah.
And since then, it's just like it was the craziest thing. It just kind of exploded in terms of my area. And now we're taking it online to do classes with girls nationally online. And I was so busy with all the little things with my studio that I wasn't pushing through on that. Like I wasn't putting the time, the online part that I needed to. Well, guess what? I'm I'm home now and that's what I'm working on. And
Now you can.
I just now I can. I just found that I really needed to do that part of my business and um, just ended up being a way bigger part than I thought it would in the last few
Mm-hmm.
weeks, which is okay. I'm learning a lot. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm making videos, which I don't love, of
Mm.
myself for my classes. And that's been an interesting thing too. But the first thing I did just to kind of deal, because I freaked out pretty good in the beginning, just going, what is this going to look like? I was freaking out for our industry. I was freaking out on behalf of everyone else who's going to try to figure out what this is going to look like because we're a luxury service. This is not, to eat and breathe
Right.
photography. I'm hoping people will look at this and go, oh my gosh, my family's so important to me. I want to
Right.
capture these memories, but who knows? There might not be any money for it. So in the beginning, when I was freaking out, I thought, what can I do to to serve and to not feel this way? And the first thing was to make a photography tutorial because I used to teach middle school and my kids would always say, when are you going to teach us photography? And I was an English teacher, so there was no room for it. So I took 3 days and I made several videos about how to use a DSLR, how to use your iPhone to take good pictures. I stood in the window. I did all these funny, things in my house. I'd go from room to room and show where the light was. And I made this photography tutorial available for free to everybody, but I really pushed it out to my students that I had and said, hey guys, here's the class that you wanted. And it helped me feel better. It helped me feel like I was doing something. I
Productive.
was connecting, and also my clients.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I sent it to my clients and said, hey, give this to your kids and do this with your kids. Like when you're doing academics and you're burnt out and you need a creative outlet, do this with your kids. It'll be fun. Have them take pictures of you, you take pictures of them. And I got really good response from that. So that was cool. And then the second thing I did was the Front Steps project. I read the article about the photographer in Boston. I thought that's so cool.
Right.
So this is before lockdown. So this is before the shelter in place came in. Because I'm a rule follower, and when that came in, I did not venture out at all. But before it went into effect, I contacted everyone I knew and said, I'm coming to our little town, Camas. Tell me if you want a portrait picture, alliteration. And I went for, 3 days, shot 30 families. It was insane at probably like an 8-foot distance. I just got out of my car, took the shot, connected for a couple seconds through conversation and got out of there. And then when that was done, I went downtown and I shot every business owner that was there. And there were probably about 25. And I'm just doing Facebook posts right now. Hey, go to blah, blah, blah for takeout tonight and support our local community. So for me to not feel like this, what is this going to look like? I have to be doing something that's proactive. I've learned that about myself in this opportunity. We'll call it an opportunity. um, and that has really helped me to not think about tomorrow. Today, I can push out stuff for people that I care about and take care of my clients. And I think every photographer, it's smart to serve your clients right now. I mean, it's good to keep yourself in the eyes of them, that you care about them and you
Right.
want to serve. There's nothing else you can do. I mean, unless you're doing online sales, which I know some people probably still are, but eventually even those will run out.
Yeah.
And we just have to keep our faces in front of people who love us and want us to succeed. That's the bottom line, I think. But just pivoting like crazy, I feel like a basketball player. It's like
Yeah, well,
pivoting, pivoting.
in a sense, we all are, because it's like we're all in this game that we have to constantly adjust to. I mean, things are changing so fast. It's like
Right,
there's new information coming out all the time.
right,
So you have to be ready and then pivot when you need to pivot.
right. It's okay to freak out. Well, like with my own kids,
Yeah.
they're grieving the last part of a gap year for one child and then
Yeah.
the last part of her sophomore year for another kid. And I'm trying to, it's okay to be mad about it.
Yeah. Be
Don't
mad.
push it down, be
No.
mad, but also like they're pivoting. Like one of them's doing all kinds of stuff to figure out what she's going to do next. The other one's doing classes in her room on her computer.
Yeah.
It's just wild. But that's a lesson too I'm learning is don't stuff it. Just say what it is. It's frustrating and
Right.
maddening. But also I have my family safe. I got food in my refrigerator and we're going to be okay. Yeah.
I think, okay, it's interesting that you bring up both of those. It's kind of a juxtaposition, right? You have like on one hand, the frustration piece and the maddening piece. And on the other hand, there's gratitude and there's thankfulness for a lot of us. And some people can't get that far even. And for some people, it's worse than it is for others. And I understand all that. But what I was thinking of when you were going through some of the stuff that you've been doing to be productive, at least before the lockdown, was those porch portraits. What I wanted to get from you was a response to criticisms that I have seen regarding the porch portrait project.
I've read some of them too. Yeah.
What is your response to that? I mean, everyone's pointing fingers, and it's super easy to be fired up and then to project your anger and frustration, right? And so for me, a lot of times it's like, oh, they're just, I get it. They're upset. They're projecting onto this, that, or the other. I do the same thing. You could ask my wife; she'll tell you all about it. But what is your response to somebody other than, okay, I understand you're upset, right? But what is your response? Like, I did this, and here's why.
Yeah. Well, I read, I will say I read something I thought was really valid from a photographer that I really respect in this industry. And she said, in regards to the porch pictures, because I think people are asking her to do them. And first of all, I don't want to be asked to do them. I still have people emailing me say, hey, can you come out? And I said, no, I'm in lockdown.
Right.
You should be too.
Not anymore.
No, it's like, it was my choice to do this. And for me, it was part of my healing with this mess. Like I missed my clients. I missed my town. I missed all of it. And in the last couple of days before I went into shelter in place here, I needed to see those people. So for me personally, it was a little selfish. I wanted to connect. And it was also really cool to be able to push out those pictures. And what we did was we did a donation for our school district. Our food pantry is kind of, they're stressed right now. They don't have what they need to give. And so I just put it out. So I didn't do it for free. And I never use that word anyway.
What was it? That's actually a good point. But say what the donation was for again. That part cut out.
It was for the food pantry in my school district.
District, right.
Because a lot of people right now are struggling with feeding their kids. And we're not we're a pretty affluent community, but we have kids who are struggling. And
so you didn't do it for free?
No, we said, if you want a high digital, high res file, and I sent one to the family. I didn't print anything. I said, I'm going to give you a high res file, but you have to show me the receipt of your donation.
Right.
And bless their hearts, almost everybody did at least $50 or more.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really cool.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a teacher from the district. Like this is my community, and I'm very tied to a lot of the students and my former colleagues. I'm pretty adamant about that. If you're going to do it, get money for a good cause during this time for people.
At the very least, right.
At the very least.
Yeah.
And what this photographer was saying is that this is not safe for us to go out and do this right now, which I totally agree. I would never do it right now.
Right now,
I'm home with my family. And I actually had to put on my Facebook page, my business page, please don't ask me to do pictures. I'm not doing them. I'm doing what you're doing. I'm hunkering down and I'm staying with my family. And I also said, support local business. So when this is over, we would love to see you at the studio.
Right.
Come down and we'll capture you, but I'm not coming to your porch right now. So I totally get, excuse me one second. I totally get people's opinions about what they're feeling about this project. And creatively, because that's my love language, it was cool to be able to work on them. Yeah.
To have something to do in that vein. For us, our attitude has been, let's err on the side of caution. And I've said this a few other times, but for me, there was a time, I think it was right when the NBA, I keep thinking of when it was, and I think that's when it was, when the NBA shut down. Like before that, I was like, this isn't a very big deal. And then the NBA shut down, and I was like, It's probably a
Yeah,
bigger
I
deal than I
remember that day
thought.
too.
And because I
Yeah.
was I wade in and out of the news in general. And so I
Yeah.
waded a little bit more in and then started doing some research. And then I talked to Vicky one night and I was like, this could be a bigger deal than what we think it is.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking like, if we err on one side, what are the repercussions of that? And they were dire.
Right.
And then I thought, if we err on the other side, what are the repercussions of that? And I thought, we're going to get made fun of for overreacting.
Right.
People are going to say, "Oh, that was silly that you went that far." And so we've been on lockdown just personally. Friday is 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and we
3
have
weeks.
the rest of this month, that we're supposed to. So for us, it's gonna if it goes that
Yeah.
long, it's gonna be like almost 50 days for us, where we've barely seen anybody in person.
Right.
Like people have dropped a few things off, and then I've like talked to the FedEx guy between the glass, and I took something out to my parents, but I stayed away from them.
Right.
And that's only happened once, and even that I was like, ugh. I don't know. Do I even do this? And I thought I'll just stay away from them and not touch anything, and I put my sleeve over my hand and then wipe the door, like all the stuff.
Right.
You have no idea, is this ridiculous or what? But erring on the side of caution for me has just been something that we're integrating. And honestly, one of my concerns is on the other side of this, am I going to be able to like not have it turn into OCD? How I wash my hands all the time now. Like
I
just
thought about
constantly
that
washing
too.
them.
Like how
I'm like,
obsessed
are we gonna be able to come out of this okay? Like
my thing is, am I gonna be able to get out of my jammy and get on with the day? Is truly the question I'm wondering. Because I have them on right now. I have a normal shirt on top, but I definitely have jammy pants below.
So do
I'm wondering,
I.
like, am I gonna be able to shower and get ready for the day and see
So do
clients?
I.
Like, is that even gonna be a possibility? I know
Oh
that's
my
a privilege.
gosh.
I have clients still.
Well,
But
I think, maybe they're just going to show up in their pajamas too. Like it's just going to.
maybe we should all just do that. We'll all just be
Society as a
super
whole,
sloppy,
the dress
comfortable.
code for society is just going to be lowered.
Yeah,
right?
well, it already is in the Northwest anyway, FYI. So it's just going to get a little bit weird.
You know what?
You
Give me some. Wrap this up by what do you have to say to your photography community right now?
what we do is valuable. And I do feel like the good stuff that's coming out of this mess is people are getting later with their families and they're thinking they were overscheduled and that priorities might not have been in where they needed to be. And that with that in mind, that families are seeing that, I think they're going to want pictures, maybe not right away, but as we recover, they're going to understand that what we do is extremely valuable. And also those of us, and I know there are a ton who are staying connected to clients and helping and serving. And the more you can do that and stay in front of them in terms of someone who cares about their family, the better off you're going to be business-wise. They're going to come to you when they do need pictures, or when someone's getting married and they need a wedding photographer, or whatever it might be.
And it's also good for your soul, isn't it?
It is. It is. It feels so good to serve the people because you fall in love with your clients. And so many people and when this is done, if you're part of a community, like a business community, like I am in my little downtown, really, really connect with other business owners and pair up. We have so many plans for when this is done.
Yeah,
to do
that's a good idea.
Events for each other, gift certificates. When you buy something at the store, like this clothing store, they're doing gift certificates for me when we come back. And we're doing a big spring deal with the fashion thing in my studio because I have space. I mean, you got to connect with other people.
You're like rallying the community to come together. And,
yes.
From a business, the businesses are coming together, then the community comes together, and then everybody comes together. And there's the exchange of services and products and money, and the economy is fueled by that, and people's spirits are fueled by that. I love that idea.
And have a party. When you get back, make it a celebration.
There are going to be parties all over the place. Massive, massive parties. Yeah. That's probably the part that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, a lot of hugging.
Me too. I'm really looking forward to that too.
Oh man. Hey, you know what? Thanks for your time.
Yeah, it was really good. I've been enjoying these so much. They've been keeping me going. So thanks for doing this. It's been awesome to see what everybody's how everybody's dealing. And I am not the child who's making sandcastles out of the manure, by the way. In reference to you're talking to Kevin,
You
but I
seem like
am,
you
I'm
are.
making little labyrinths in it, not castles, just little.
You're not delighting that much.
I'm not delighting that much.
Right.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
hanging in
well,
there.
keep going. Thanks for your time. Thanks for doing what you're doing and being who you are. I really appreciate you, Laura.
Yeah, you too, Jed. You're the best. This industry needs you, so thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this conversation presented by White House Custom Color on YouTube. Be sure to check out our other content and click that subscribe button right there. Right. Right there. It's there somewhere.